Good afternoon, everybody. Do have a seat, please. Welcome to the gathering as we find ourselves in the middle of Mental Health Week. We had some interesting, challenging and conversation-stimulating, certainly, talks on Monday, and those conversations are carrying on in the houses and will be picked up, particularly this evening as we are in our houses tonight. There'll be more on Mental Health Week in chapel on Saturday when we'll hear some student reflections at that point when the Rev's back with us. The Rev is poorly, so if you are in touch with him, do send him good wishes for a rapid recovery. Thank you to all of those, particularly lower school students who presented soul-seeking projects on Monday, and thank you to the upper school students for getting around and supporting and showing interest. It's a really inspirational moment in the Shawnigan calendar, and there was some great work on display, and so thank you for all the work that's gone into that, the work and passion, which is what it's all about. A great array of topics, and it was fascinating to walk around and be in the library at that time. So today we're going to hear from some students. We've got JD Pickens and Georgia Brown coming to talk about their adventures out east at a leadership conference in New Brunswick. And then we're going to hear from Mrs. Wilkie and Abby McIntosh raising awareness about Friday's National Awareness Day for murdered and missing Indigenous women and girls. So they will finish off our assembly here today. But before that, we're going to sing our first hymn. So if we could stand quietly for hymn number 10, the Strathcona hymn, Be Thou My Vision. Very nicely sung. Do have a seat. So the flag outside is flying at half-mast today, and we've lost two close friends to the Shawnigan community in recent weeks. Indeed, the head and Mr. Samuel are currently representing the school at Tukey Angus's celebration of life in Vancouver. Tukey was one of 4 brothers to attend Shawnigan, graduating in 1967. He was head of Ripley's, a school prefect, and a Groves all-rounder. He became a lawyer, then moved into the mining industry, where he was not only passionate about responsible mining, but also committed to Indigenous health and economic reconciliation. He was an advisor, investor, and most recently a director of Salish Soils, focusing on land stewardship and reclamation within the Seychelles Nation's territory. Through philanthropic efforts, he supported numerous other causes related to education, health, women's issues, and the arts. And many of you will recall Alex Buckman, a tireless force for Holocaust education in Vancouver, who presented on the Holocaust here in chapel as recently as January this year. He has sadly died on a visit to Warsaw at the age of 83. The school received the following message from the Vancouver Holocaust Education Centre. On behalf of the Vancouver Holocaust Education Centre to Shawnigan Lake School, we are so grateful for the time and energy put into Alex's visit to your school each year. He loved attending, and I've never seen someone smile more when he was about to embark on his annual trip to Shawnigan. You took beautiful care of him, and we will forever remember the connection he shared with you. We hope your school finds comfort during this difficult time through the memories made with him over the years. If you, the head, or any students need anything at all, please don't hesitate to ask. What a wonderful message. An important part of Alex's story was to recount how his aunt, Rebecca, was sent to Ravensbrück, a concentration camp for women in Germany. One night, while working a slave labour shift at the camp factory, she stole a large swath of brown paper, a pencil, and a pair of scissors. She hid the items in her prison dress, and when she got back to her barracks, began cutting out squares of paper. She then wrote down recipes from memory to make a small cookbook. One of these recipes was for orange cake, which she later baked for Alex every Sunday. As a mark of respect for Alex and his service to Shawnigan, our own catering team will use Aunt Rebecca's recipe to bake orange cake for the school on Holocaust Remembrance Day each year from now on. And I think that'll be a fitting tribute to Alex. Back to school business. AP exams are underway, and I hope they're going well for those of you who are writing them, and that you feel supported and able to ask for time and extra support if you need it. Remember, good communication at this time with your teachers and with your advisor if activities need to be missed, but hopefully you're feeling the support is there. Later this week, on Friday afternoon, we're hosting a Stadium Series rugby tournament. And I think there are 5 games happening up on Canada Field and the surrounding pitches. We've got the second 15 playing at 2 o'clock, and then the Iron Women are playing against DW Poppies at 3 o'clock. And then we have, after that game and before the first 15 game, we've got the opening of the Derek Hydley Pavilion Pathway, which has been an addition up there next to Canada Field at around 4:15, with the first 15 games starting at 4:30. We're going to run house sign-ins up there from 3:30 onwards, so that the school's up there for that formal opening, and hopefully to enjoy both of those fantastic games that are there. We've got the gelato van in attendance, and there'll be a good atmosphere up there, which I'm sure you'll enjoy. I'm now going to hand over to the 2 students who were on the leadership trip out to Brunswick. So if I could ask JD Pickens and Georgia Brown to come and share their experiences.
Okay. This is Georgia. I'm JD. And last week, Mr. Plater, Joseph, Georgia, and Kanya, sorry, I can't forget her, went to the CASE Leadership Conference hosted at Rothsay Netherwood School in New Brunswick. Over the course of 3 days, we listened to the different keynote speakers, collaborated with 34 different schools from across the country, and got the chance to both appreciate Shawnigan and identify some possible areas of growth. The overall theme of this conference was "We are because they were."
We took in so many things at this conference. We furthered our appreciation for Shawnigan, learning that schools do not have what we have to offer. We came to appreciate the sense of community at Shawnigan and the values it has. We also found out that almost everyone cuts corners. Our overall gratitude for Shawnigan grew tremendously. In addition to this, we learned about different kinds of leaders there can be. As we took on a number of activities, from MUN to rope courses, we took in different forms of leadership. from leaders who are influential and speak publicly, to the ones who are able to listen to the people who don't always get heard.
We were able to meet so many different people who had so many different opinions. This allowed us to see the strengths and places for further improvement of Shawnigan. Shawnigan is built on years of community, and we continue that today together. Our overall goal with this conference was to implement or reinstall parts of Shawnigan that can make future members of the Shawnigan community feel both included and heard. We learned so much, and one thing that sticks out is the idea that leadership is a process, not a person.
As far as next actions, we look forward to having conversations and posing questions, as well as listening to our house directors, teachers, and current prefects, in hopes of instilling some beneficial changes to our community.
Lastly, we would like to thank Mr. Plater for accompanying us, and the school and Mr. Lamont for giving us this amazing opportunity, as it helps us as individuals and the school as a whole to grow and create a better future environment.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you both very much for those different insights of different styles of leadership and perhaps relevant as grade 11s are thinking about prefect applications over the next few weeks. We'll move on to our second hymn. So if we can stand quietly to sing hymn 13, Be Still My Soul.
Do please have a seat. I squeal, everyone. I am grateful to gather with you in this sacred place today on the ancestral and unceded territories of Cowichan, Malahat, and Saanich nations. In this space, we aspire to listen to one another, to learn, to enter into and create a community of safety and belonging. But we know that safety and belonging is not the same for everyone in our country. This Friday, May the 5th, marks the National Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered and Indigenous and Women, Transgendered and Two-Spirited People, and it highlights how safety and belonging is disproportionate within our country. To honor this day, Métis artist Jamie Black created an art installation of red dresses to bring attention about missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirited peoples. Across our nation, she's displayed dresses in public spaces to bring awareness to violence that Indigenous women and girls experience. They're 3 times more likely to experience violence. They're 10 times more likely to experience homicide. Black wishes to honor the presence and power of Indigenous women in our communities and to remember the thousands of sisters and daughters, mothers, grandmothers, and aunties who have been stolen from their loved ones. Red dresses will hang on campus on Friday. People will approach the dresses with different perspectives, different levels of knowledge. Some in our community might be burdened with the tragedy of losing a loved one. Others may have no prior knowledge to the institutional discrimination and systemic violence that Indigenous women are facing in communities, on our province, our country, and our world. As you reflect in classes, the Learning Commons, I invite each of you to exercise compassion for one another in this week. Our goal in marking Red Dress Day is to create opportunities for dialogue and to encourage us to work together towards eradicating violence. All of us deserve to be safe. I'd like to invite Abby to read a poem.
This is Sonnet 1181 by Tanaya Winder. For the murdered and missing Indigenous women on Turtle Island. Not when or where, but how did we lose you? In between last seen. The words become elegy, echoing sidewalks and streets. Hand out your picture to strangers, posted on post office bulletin boards, missing, as if it were a destination, a place one goes to disappear in invisible cities. Except there's no hero like in the movies. No ads, mainstream coverage, or TV shows to show our story. Are we invisible if no one knows? Why? When 1,181 women were taken, did eyes cease to have vision or pay attention to a body being swallowed up? Those left behind who remember you continue on a mission, an endless search of the cities in which we loved and love you. We will never forget. We demand for you actions, words, even a poem that ends. Your lives matter too.
Thank you very much, Abby. Thank you very much, Mrs. Wilkie. We'll just have a quiet moment of reflection about what we've just heard. Thank you. If we could ask the staff to quietly leave, and then Henri will dismiss the students.